Alrighty, folks, we are back with more Dark Tide. It's been a little bit of a while since we were back, so let's get back into it. So, who are you? What are you? And to celebrate, open the Magic Day, which celebrates. Let me just read this. People finding their reading voice, loving of read aloud, picture books, and such things. What is your favourite reading voice? Oh, just realised I've accidentally frozen the thing because I scrolled out. There we go. What is your favourite reading voice or character voice to read things in? Starting with Rowan.
Hello, I am Rowan, and I am playing Juniper, a small cat creature thing with knives and apparently an entire swan. And favourite reading voice? I mean, I guess it's kind of like the voices I do for stupid characters here. So it would be like, which one of those did I like the best? Because I don't tend to read out loud. I don't like children. And when I do, I just usually read in my normal voice. Jesus Christ. Well, I'll go with Nana Rai, if I had to pick one.
Ah, Nana Rai.
Dithery old lady voice. Easy to do, doesn't hurt my lungs.
Your poor, poor lungs.
Poor lungs.
Alright. Next we have Eden.
Hello, I'm Eden. My character is Wraith, Tevinter Mage, come Mortician. And I'm not going to pick one of my own voices. I think if I was wanting to listen to somebody talk at length, I would pick Matt Berry from What We Do in the Shadows and Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. I think he's got a very humorous intonation, and I could probably just listen to him narrate anything and it would be amusing.
Yep, that is totally fair. And Tom.
Hello. I don't know about... Oh, sorry, yes, who am I? Hi, my name is Victor Overhill. I'm a bard. Well, aspiring bard? No, I am a bard, aspiring for big things in the big city. I haven't found a big city yet, but hopefully I will soon. And then I will make my fortune, perhaps. Who knows? Favorite voice? I don't know. Morgan Freeman's a bit of a classico in terms of smooth, dulcet tones.
Right. Just ever just Ron, who's your favourite person to listen to since we've had Matt Berry and Morgan Freeman?
Would have to be the audiobooks for the Chronicles of Ancient Darkness series, voiced by Ian motherfucking McKellen. Was not expecting that from a kids' book series that terrified me as a child, and then I got the audiobooks to re-listen to them. And it was Gandalf of, the You Shall Not Pass McKellen, and I'm like, why are you reading this? I love it. It works perfectly.
Fair. Alright, so what happened last week, or last time? It has been a little bit over that, possibly a month. What happened last time?
How it started is a good question. I think we were tasked with going to deal with that somebody had died, and we were going to get documents. Am I remembering right?
If I remember right, because it has been a month, I'll try and tell you what I remember. The last episode was the one that started with Ruth basically being away teaching two girls how to play chess. Which led to one of them guards breaking in the room, grabbing one and leaving. Then you all following to this manor house, where the lord of the manor had died. Sorry, I'm gonna have a cat cuddling me all the way through today because he's turned to be cuddly today. The lord of the manor died, and the wife was determined to kill off any potential heiresses before they basically put her out of house and home. This led to you examining the body, which had ligature marks around his neck, and it left Victor trying to lead a band, which half of them were playing a very somber funeral tone, half of them were playing the jolly tale. I can't remember. It was someone the Elysian Horror or something like that. The song, it was a sort of more upbeat, drunken song, and half of them playing. This led to a fight in the musical division, where Victor got punched in the nose.
My nose.
And then Juniper stole the swan from the banquet table, and then you found the girl and you got out with her. She then found a lawyer who told her that she basically was going to inherit the house, and the heiress decided that it was going to just have you all beheaded. But Victor flirted with her, and he basically got grabbed and taken away with her, and later released as she got told that she was no longer in charge of the estate. This cat is ridiculous today. Hopefully the purring is not too loud on stream.
It's not just the cat that's ridiculous. This
can't
story
hear
is
it.
wild.
It's mad. I think I just wandered off and stole food the entire time. I think that's all I did.
I think you stole the swan and you went to find somewhere to eat the swan in quiet.
Person with a very small dick. Please stop climbing. Thank you. Shush.
I heard that.
Alright. So that was last week. Let us continue on from there. Sorry there's no overlay this week, unless an AJ appears and makes one. I've had no time this week, so apologies if there's no overlay. So yes, we carry on from there. So you all basically got back and you left the village on the cart, as all the working girls were basically packing their stuff to go and live in this magically large house with their new friend heiress. And you left on the road, and we'll carry on from there. So you're going along the road, and as you travel along the road, you're coming to another quite large forest. And as you arrive, going through the road to go into the forest, you see a group of, looks like ruffians, basically, for a simple term, standing in the way of the road as it goes into the forest. What do you want to do?
Beat up.
What
you
are they
want to
doing?
just charge through them?
Are they just like massing in the road?
There's
is there any
about
sign of
6 of them, and they look like they've established some kind of very pathetic-looking toll booth.
They're gonna try and nick the cart. Say speed up.
Yes, it seems like a prudent idea. I think we just give the horses some encouragement and just blast on through.
We have lost too many horses at this point to really bad road
We've
theft.
lost too many horses at this point to care about the health of the horses. Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Right, I need to just make sure if I move this to here, and I again just take that. That doesn't go away, does it? No, that's fine. Cool. I can't do dice rolling when you stand like that. Right, so he's pawing at my side still, try and get the keyboard back to do dice rolling. Apologies. Right, Discord. Right, dice spot. Dice rolling. Check. Yep, the display has not stopped. All right. So you charge forward. The barricade. It seems to be just high enough that the horses can jump over it, but the cart gets jarred after it. So the horses are now over the barricade, and the cart's now on the original side of it, and it's kind of stuck, and the horses are getting quite agitated. They can't move.
We may have hit a snag.
Yes.
Don't chew my microphone cable.
Wraith stands up. I'm assuming we're kind of surrounded by these guys now that we've
They're
ridden
kind
into
of all
them.
looking at you quite stunned that you've just tried to jump the barricade.
So Wraith is going to stand up and point his staff menacingly in all of their directions, like one in turn. Stay back! Don't try anything. Let us through. Take this barrier down, and we'll be on our way.
I'm going
what do we do, Mark?
pluck my loot menacingly.
Can I jump on top of the carriage and menacingly hold up daggers?
We're doing lots of menacing.
Lots of menacing.
My goal
So
is to get up high where they can't get me and throw daggers.
You jump at the top of the cart and you hold your daggers up. Two of them look kind of stunned. One of them, who looks the most sort of the tidiest of all of them, steps forward and goes, "Hello, you've kind of got yourself stuck there. There's a toll."
We shan't be paying any toll. Get one of your men to bring this barrier down, and we will ride on.
Well, it's not so much for that. It's important you pay the toll. You see, there's things in this forest that, well, you know, could be a problem.
I'm gonna
ready a dagger.
I'm going to pluck my loot again, slightly menacingly.
Readying up a battle theme.
Yeah.
What kind of things are out here? You say you protect this forest?
Sorry, I just realised I forgot to go say it meow before we started. Yeah. Well, we don't so much protect the forest as we're, paid by it. Yeah, we're paid by the forest, yeah.
What?
Looking around at the trees and wildlife and what have you, is there anything amiss, or is this just a pretty standard forest? It just looks like a very standard forest from what you can see.
Just mental image of you just sort of like... just sort of looking at this, it's just some trees, and you're just like... What danger? Where?
Pretty
What?
much. Glowering down at them from the cart.
I can see no sign of anything about this forest that would require your protection. And we shan't be paying your toll. That's the final word on it. Get one of your men to bring the barrier down, and we will go on our way.
All right, your own head be it. He walks forward and he starts pulling the barricade out from between the horses. And you hear this voice go, "Does that mean we don't have to do them with the paint mark?" "No, put the paint down." Okay.
What kind of paint have they got? Like,
He seems to have a sort of pot of some sort of weird yellow stuff. And at this point the barricade is removed and you are free to go on your way.
okay. Wearily eyeing the paint pot and considering what that might mean. Thank you, we'll be on our way. And
Can I hop down and nick the paint pot and run away with it?
Sure.
Just straight into the woods.
I'm just going to run up the path ahead and then hop back on the cart when you presumably start moving quite quickly.
Okay.
Shall I roll or?
No, the guy holding it's quite bewildered. If you just jump down and grab it, you can probably just take it and go.
Yeah, just going to start running up the path and
You
hope
start
you guys
running up,
catch
you
up so I
hear
can...
choruses of, "Oi, that's ours!"
Guys, go quickly.
We're going.
give the reins a whip.
I feel this could be useful later, you know?
Alright. So,
I'm just gonna be like...
if anyone has alchemy, you can roll to look at this paint.
Nope.
I can't remember. I've changed characters too many times to remember what my base skills are.
No, I do not.
That's fine. We'll just
And I
carry
always
on from there.
struggle to find the bloody thing.
So you carry on, and as you get deeper and darker into the wood, you start hearing this quite loud buzzing coming from both sides of the woods.
It's the bees. Oh, they were so mad the other day when we looked after them. There was like about 10 different stingers in our outfits by the time we came in.
Oof.
We were really pissed at something.
Grumpy bee.
So
Idiots.
beekeeping suits. We're going to have to be careful.
I'm guessing
Do we
I'll
have
hop
any?
back onto the cart at this point. Can I go up to the top and then just kind of slap a bit of the paint on the top of the cart with the back? I'm kind of imagining like top area.
Okay. You stick this stuff on the back of the cart. It seems very thick, it smells quite strange to you.
Okay, yep. I'm gonna hope that does something. And bring the rest of it back inside and guess and be like, smelly pot! Here!
Dead man here.
Take a whiff of
Ah! It smells!
it. Hmm. Yeah, it's very unusual. Not like any paint I've smelled before. Not that I go around smelling paint or anything.
Dead people juice.
Dead people juice.
Well, let me... No. Well, actually, does he smell any hint of decay or anything like that in there?
It doesn't smell of decay, no. It has got a very unique smell, but nothing you can recognise immediately.
No,
Sulphurous, I'm imagining.
nothing from my line of work in here. Well, there's a buzzing noise, though. Is it getting louder? Is it staying at a distance?
It seems angrier and angrier the deeper you go into the forest. And as you get to a certain point, are you outside the car? Or are you all in the car? Just so I know.
I think we're all in the car, aren't we?
We're in.
Because we're riding it.
Yeah. Okay. So at one point you hear a scream, and Manny immediately appears in the middle of the cart from outside. Goes, nope, 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 nope.
What's wrong, Manny?
There are them giant buggle things outside. I don't want to deal with that.
Bubble things? What do you mean, bubble things?
He points, and you hear the sound of the horses, sort of going fat, basically speeding up as if something's chasing them, and the buzzing sound is getting stronger around you.
I really hope that paint didn't attract the bees or whatever.
It was buzzing before, so yeah. It's just the fact that they put a sigil or something. Thought it might have been protective.
Maybe the paint isn't the deal. Maybe they would have done a symbol or something, and yeah, that could have been what was necessary.
Yeah, I just didn't know the symbol, so I just kind of
It is what it
hoped
is.
paint would be enough, you know?
Wraith will pop his head out the front of the cart to try and check the horses to see if there's any sign of them in...
As you look out, you see to the left and to the right of the cart are massive, like rabbit-sized bees chasing the horses.
Oh, damn. He immediately pops his head back in. Giant bees! There's giant bees everywhere!
That's
Someone resident bee expert, help us out.
okay. Resident bee expert. Bees. Well, hang on. Canonically, do I know much about bees? Can I do just a flat roll to see how much I know about bees?
Sure.
Maybe there was, if I'm lucky, and I roll high, there was an apiarist who showed me how bees work at my village I'm
How
from.
bees work, okay.
If I'm not lucky, I've never heard of a bee. Is it .d20, is it?
.d20, yeah. Yep, you seem to remember a lot from your time at the village with the apiary man.
Phew. Okay, so bees. Smoke makes them want to return to their nest. They are very much less angry if you go away from their nest, although they will chase you for a little bit. If they get wet, they lose body heat fast because they can't generate their own body heat, other than by exercising vigorously. Cold makes them go home. Rain makes them go home, and they can't fly in darkness. There needs to be some sunlight for them to fly. Any ideas?
Well, I can certainly create smoke and cold.
Well, that's off you go then, I guess.
Well, let me think. What would be the best way of doing this? I don't want to set the cart on fire, so smoke is probably the lesser of the two options. If I were to create a field of cold around the cart itself, we might need to wrap up ourselves, but the bees wouldn't like it, that's for sure.
All wrapped up. Very.
I'm just going. I'm wondering if you've got a beekeeper suit in your many belongings.
No.
You can look.
No, we wouldn't have a beekeeper suit, surely. That would have come up
I
somehow.
value my fingers. I'm not going to look.
Can I roll to see if I've nicked a beekeeper's suit at some point?
Sure. Why not?
What am I rolling?
Just do a normal roll and we'll see. It's .d20.
Dot.
.d20.
Got it.
There we go.
17.
Juniper goes to a cupboard that none of you realise opened, starts pulling out random clothes she's found, and eventually she pulls out this very elaborate looking thick beekeeping suit.
I guess whoever fits it best.
What size is this beekeeping suit?
It looks like it would be let's say it kind of looks like it would fit Wraith's structure, but it's about a foot shorter than him.
So it's for a very slender person, but he's probably going to have the bottoms of these up around his ankles then.
It's also because if they're the size of, you know, your average pig, for instance, or whatever.
The size of a rabbit.
Rabbit, okay. They're not gonna. That's a big stinger. I think plate armor would probably be more applicable in this particular instance.
Wraith
They don't tend to sting though, do they?
Not unless you piss them off and or muck around in their nest, which I'm thinking might be the whole forest.
Seems we're doing both right now. Wraith winces at the small beekeeping suit and says, "It may be for the best if we all stay inside. I could probably generate the field from within here if I place my hands on the wall." And he does so and tries to channel cold so that the structure of the wagon would become like the source of cold and would become this travelling safe zone, let's say.
Okay. So roll magic for that. So roll your... Yeah, just roll magic for that.
Oh, what are the commands again?
.d20 plus... There you go.
And then it's +5,
Plus
so
23. Okay.
23. Yeah, fine.
So you channel the sides. The car immediately starts chilling down. All of you start to can see your breath. There's a very loud whinnying coming from outside, and then you feel the car begin to slow down.
Ooh, can I run out and see what's wrong with the horses? Are they just getting cold?
You look at one has basically dropped to the ground and has been dragged under the wheels, and the other one is also basically on the ground now. With 2 or 3 of these massive bees swarming all over it. It has a massive, it looks like, stinger barb stuck in the side of it. It looks about the same size as, let's say, one of your legs. It's quite big.
Ah, jeez.
One of our legs? Are those a rabbit-sized thing?
Well, Juniper's not got very big legs.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, she is a tiny, weedy little thing.
So the car is slowly grinding to a halt, even though it is producing quite a lot of cold at the moment. So the bees don't care about you, but they are still swarming over this dead horse.
Turning to Victor, Wraith goes, "Oh, it seems that the cart's in trouble. This cold field might not be enough. We should probably get out with Juniper and see what those horses are all about and what's going on out there."
Trucks. Can I try and make a torch and like a smoky kind of embery thing, and try and kind of, I don't know, the bees?
For audio listeners, Rowan is just frantically waving, but yes. Yes, so you basically get some basic wood and you just sort of light it up a little bit, so it's smoking quite a lot. The bees tend to leave whenever the sort of smoke is coming near it.
Cool. I'm gonna try and like get him away from the horses.
Okay. So one horse has been crushed under the cart, and the other horse is long since dead with this massive stinger still in its side. And there's one dead bee lying next to it, obviously from losing its stinger. So the cart is now slowly stopped completely. And you're looking around. All around the trees around you, you can see these massive bees just sort of swarming around.
I'm going to grab the undersized outfit and start trying to squeeze it on as best I can, just for some level of protection.
Okay.
And
Maybe, like, add particularly big socks to kind of cover up the areas in which animals are showing.
Yeah, anywhere that's not covered by the outfit is going to be, as many layers of gloves and socks and what have you as possible.
That's
And once ready and looking a bit ridiculous, probably going to, again, turn to Victor and just be like, quickly, follow me! And jumps out of the back of the cart. And with staff in hand is looking for the closest bees.
The bees don't seem to come anywhere near the cart, because the cart's generating a lot of cold still. But they are kind of like sort of swarming around the trees near you. As you look through the trees, you see what looks like a massive, like, almost like a self-built nest, but maybe 600-700 meters away from you, but it's massive.
Are we talking house size or?
Yeah, easily a house size.
Like, I don't want to hurt the bees. Bees are cute. I like bees. I don't want to stabinate a bee for no reason. They wouldn't do it to us for no reason. Bees are good. Do we have a way to just magically make the carriage self-rolling? That could be something. It'd be cool.
I can't say that I've got any skills that could animate the cart, unfortunately.
What are you talking about? Do you remember that cackling horse skull?
Well,
Do that, but right. And on one of the bees or the horse, and
A bee
now
drawing
that would be
carriage?
something. If we killed a bunch of the bees and then I resurrect a swarm of them and we somehow lash them to the front of the cart.
yes.
Kind of stupid that just might work.
Has anybody got any kind of animal handling of any sort?
I might.
Because I don't.
No, not animal handling.
I'm gonna try something.
Oh.
Stand back, everyone. All right. Have you ever heard of the Pied Piper?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, I don't have a pipe, and it's not rats. I'm gonna roll music.
What is your
The
intent
return of
before?
rolling music.
What is your intent before you do this? Just so I know.
I want to see if I can hypnotize. I guess I'm not exactly sure what the Pied Piper did, but I want to try and hypnotize some bees into pulling the cart somehow. I assume it's got like the sort of bits out the front to lash the horses to. So if they all pull really hard.
Okay.
The return of the tam-tam tactics.
Yeah, it's looking pretty dire. So, oh, that's not
8.
good.
Okay. So you start playing things. It seems to aggravate the bees, and more of them start swarming near the cart.
Well, I'm gonna stop.
We're completely stranded out here, looking around. I'm assuming there's no signs of like deer or any other wildlife. Like a swarm of bees this size is presumably keeping everything away.
There are no
Probably.
signs of anything apart from these bees.
How
the
high off the
dumbest
ground
idea.
is the cart?
The cart is about, I think the standard cart is like 1.5 meters off the ground.
So
Alright,
I've got
what it-
shapeshift.
Mm-hmm.
Can I shapeshift into a horse?
That's risky.
You can try.
Like, you can probably stick me and like someone can sit on my back and wave a torch around. Get
Yeah.
bees away. A bit of smoke, you know?
Alright,
Smoke
roll,
and ice our way out.
roll magic and see, and we'll get on with this.
I'm guessing I just add my intelligence, or...
Mhm. Yep.
Come on, dice. Be good to me. $16?
16. You managed to change into a horse. It's a very cat-like horse. It looks very strange, but it does seem to sort of fit to the general description of a horse. Are you going to undo both the previous horses from the cart?
Unless you want to try and resurrect one.
Yeah, the one that's under the cart, we should undo all the fastenings and try and shift it as best we can. And then the other one, Wraith, will kneel down and give a little prayer to whatever deity might be relevant to this. And hopes and says, "Wish me luck. This didn't go so well last time." And he lays hands and casts Resurrect.
Alright. Roll your magic. Let's see how this this resurrection attempt works.
Can I do a quick prayer as well? Because I've seen how these guys roll, and I'm scared.
You cast something that a light returns to the eye of the horse as it begins to sort of stand back to its climb back to its feet. Flesh begins to slowly start peeling and rolling off of its bones.
Oh no, not again!
I'm tugging out the dead horse from under the cart.
Okay.
And I'm gonna look over and just like
The sort of pile of dead horse meat seems to be attracting the bees.
I like to think my character currently looks like this. So the Dark Child tab.
Oh, that is disturbing.
Yeah, something like that.
For the listeners, it is a picture of a horse with its face in a cat's face on a horse.
Mm-hmm.
Photoshop is an abhorrent thing.
Kind of is.
Jesus. So I've got that in front of me, a peeling dead skin horse on the other side, dead horse below me.
As you drag the one from under the cart off to the side and go back, the bees again start swarming around it. They seem to be slowly breaking it down and carrying bits of it back to the hive.
Oh no. Oh no, they're vulture bees.
It's more like wasps.
There's a type of bee that makes meat honey. I think they're called vulture bees.
Well, I mean, regular bees do as well if they can't get anything else.
Yeah, that's fair. They must be starving then.
I don't think there's many flowers around that are, that big.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of plants that big, but not actual flowers that big.
I think as best he can, Wraith is going to try and kick away and brush off the dying, sloughing meat from this horse skeleton, I suppose, that he's animated.
So
Pulls it down with some water.
So yeah, this now rotting horse is just standing about a foot away from you, just staring at you with its cold, dead sockets.
"I'm so sorry, old girl. Needs must and everything." And he's gonna try and make sure that because I'm assuming that the reins and what have you that were attached to it would have been, I mean, they're built for the flesh to be there, so he tightens everything up to try and make sure that it's not just going to immediately slip off or cause a problem when we try and pull away.
Okay.
I'm guessing I am hooked up to the front as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cat horse.
Cat horse. So is someone basically riding Juniper with some sort of smoke thing on them?
I suppose so. Which one of the two of us is the smaller target? Although I guess Wraith has got the outfit. So Wraith will volunteer to ride. He feels a bit weird about riding Juniper, so he's going to ride the skeletal horse. Because that feels a little bit more, I don't know, his thing.
Just make sure there's smoke on me, please.
Yeah, he'll be waving a torch between the two horses.
Am I still underneath the cart?
I assume that when they're heading off, you're back on the cart itself.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd like to
All
think so,
aboard.
anyway.
So you're in the cart. The cart sets off again. You notice as soon as you leave that the bees start swarming the remnants of the sort of of the horse flesh that seems to be left behind. You continue along the road for a couple of minutes. Again, there's still loads of bees everywhere around, and as you get to carry on, there's eventually a clearing ahead, and it seems to be a man in a robe standing there looking at you, quite confused that you turn up with this skeletal / cat horse. And he looks at you and goes, "Who are you?"
I am Wraith of the Grey Wardens, and I am with some companions. We're on our way, away from those bees back there. Who are you?
I am Roberto. But where is your mark? Why are your horses not marked? Did you not pay the toll?
No, we didn't pay any toll. As you can see, we've had the bees all over us.
The bees need payment.
What do you mean?
The bees had payment. We gave them a horse.
2 horses, effectively.
They will take more than that.
Well,
Not
they're
if we have
welcome to
anything-
try.
Not if we have anything to say about it.
The corruption is spreading. There is not much time.
How are
do
these
you know-
darkspawn bees?
What do you know of corruption, man?
You are Grey Wardens. You will be helpful with this. Come. And he climbs onto your cart and goes, "We must go to the west. That is where the corruption is. Come."
Wraith looks to Victor for approval on whether or not we're going to move with this guy on the cart.
Don't ask me, I'm not a Grey Warden. I'm just tagging along.
Just shrugging. Okay. Well, I suppose if you know the lay of this land well enough, and there's Grey Warden business about, we should tend to our duties, I suppose. And he kind of looks around at the group, thinking about how often have we actually done that? I don't know. But
I've done it like 4 or 5 times, and every single time it's ended badly, except for that plant. So maybe it's because we're getting better.
practice makes perfect.
So you head along the road as he describes, and eventually, he says, "Stop there," and he points and ahead through the trees. You see this it's like the kind of building-esque style house you saw before, but there's black and white ripples all the way through it, and all the bees coming out of it are they look like they're dripping with like sort of black ichor.
Yeah, they're darkspawn.
They need eradicated. You are Grey Wardens. You know how to deal with this corruption.
We do.
Fix the hive before it takes over the forest.
When you say fix,
Yes?
I'm just going to gesture at the flaming torch.
Whatever the means are needed to remove the corruption before it spreads.
Okie dokie.
Can I let out a challenging whinny meow?
No. Okay. So, what are you gonna do?
Well, I know we were hesitant to kill these bees before, but if there's darkspawn corruption about, then we should get to work. And, well, if fire's the way, then I suppose I'll lead it. Perhaps his staff. And, well, Juniper, if you want to assume your usual form.
Yep. Can I turn back into a
I
small
assume
cat
you can
creature?
turn back normally, but
Okay.
we'll have to roll again to change back again. But yeah. You can go back to your normal form.
Cool. I think our best shot might just be flinging a very big fireball at it.
Yes, keeping our distance would be prudent. I mean, the cart's still cold, presumably.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if we stay close to that and use that as our line of defense.
And keep the cart moving a little bit, and then I'll try and pick off any that are too close with a well-aimed dagger to the thorax.
Well, if I take a stance up on the seat up at the front of the cart, I'll stand up and one of you can drive the whole thing. I mean, with only one horse, it's going to be slow as it is, so that's fine. And I'll take my best shot.
And I'll go on top of the carriage and fling daggers in any way needed.
Yep.
And then none of you were in my line of sight then.
Yeah, surely we won't get any friendly fire this way. Surely.
Surely.
All right. So the cart is on the road. It's the hive that you're seeing is about 500, about 400 meters away to the trees off the side of the road. What do you want to do?
Okay, we're all in our positions. So Wraith will open up with a fireball directly at the mass, the center mass of this thing.
Can you throw a fireball 400 meters away?
I've got no idea. You tell me. I don't know what the distance is on these things.
I'm just trying to think how far someone can throw something. Let me just see.
Pretty goddamn far.
I thought it was being projected from like the end of the staff.
Yeah,
kind
I
of
suppose
thing.
it was being projected from the end of staff then, yes.
I mean, he could fire it like a mortar if it's necessary.
And you do have the stuff that ups fire magic, so...
Hang on. Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm not paying you money to answer that question, Google. How far can an average person throw a ball? The average person could throw a baseball 90 feet. So that's
Probably
90 feet is
right.
roughly 30 meters.
Falling way short then. Okay. We're going to need to get a little bit closer. If we bring the carts, would the cart make it across this terrain? Actually, before I
It's
go?
quite uneven and quite dense forest. I mean, it might make it, it might get bogged down, you don't know.
And there's no paths that lead up closer.
This seems to be the closest properly solid ground.
Okay. Gauging the distance, and he's in full stance, but feeling now a little bit foolish, realizing the limits of his capacity. Wraith turns to Victor and says, I think we're going to need to stop and get a little bit closer. Bring the horse to a halt. And once we've stopped, he'll hop off the cart and...
What we could do is make another secure base closer to it, so we can do the cold spell on a tree.
I was thinking maybe something even more portable than that. If I could grab a stone or something nearby, just a small object that I can pocket, and cast cold on it, or chill, to then try and create another kind of like portable local field of cold.
Mm-hmm.
Probably have to put it in a bag or something, because it's going to be really cold.
Do you want me to roll for that?
Sure.
Oh, I think I missed the full stop. Ooh, 11.
Okay. So you casting chill on a stone, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You cast chill on a stone and you throw it as a practice throw to see how far you can get.
Oh
You
no,
get it
the intent was to cast chill on the stone and then pocket it and
Ah,
kind of
right.
be able to
Pocket it,
move
yeah,
forward
that's fine.
with it.
That's fine. So you pocket the chill stone. Your leg's feeling quite numb from putting it in your pocket.
Okay. I think Wraith can deal with a bit of cold. Mortician's life and everything. He's hung out in a cold place for a long time. So he kind of says, well, I don't know if you want to stay with the cart or shall I move up ahead by myself?
I think I'd have to go with you because I cannot throw a dagger 400 meters.
That's fair.
And if you need stabby backup, then I have the creature with you.
Yes. What of you, Victor? Are you staying with the cart or will you come up with us and... Well, what do you think?
Maybe play a calming tune to keep the bees away.
Wraith winces thinking about the last tune that he played.
What are you doing, Victor? Tom? Okay. Hadn't seen Tom move for a while and I was wondering if he was still there.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't really know if I have any skills that are applicable here. It's not really my forte.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
entirely fair.
giant bees, giant corrupted bees are not really many people's forte, to be honest.
I've got a crossbow. Can I guess I'll just sort of stand with you guys and shoot any bees that come close.
Yeah. An extra set of eyes can't hurt.
If that's what you want to do, you can do that.
I've got a crossbow, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll do.
So, with that decided then, we'll start moving forward with Wraith in the centre of the pack.
Okay. What was that? Right. So you you start moving your way forward as your leg is getting very numb now from the the cold stone.
Would I have a bag and a bit of string on me?
Yes. What do you want them to do?
Put the cold stone in the string bag and trail it behind us. Give it to Victor.
I've got an idea. He takes the stone out of his pocket, passes it to Juniper to put in the bag, takes the bag off of her with the stone in it, and ties it to the top of his staff.
Yep.
That works.
So as you start getting closer and closer to the hive, you're about maybe, let's see, maybe 300 meters away. So you've moved about 100 meters away from the cart. The bees are getting more and more aware of your presence and start encircling you.
How thick is the cloud of bees at this point around us?
There's easily 100 bees around you at the moment.
And they're big, so that's, yeah.
Yeah.
All of them about the size of a rabbit.
Super tense. Edging forwards then, once we're in range.
Duck-sized horses.
Once we're in range, Wraith will take aim and say, well, be ready once I've let this go. I've got a feeling like we might need to run back to the cart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and he fires off a fireball.
You launch a fireball. You manage to get about maybe... You've continued walking, you're about 100 meters away by the time you launch the fireball. Again, you land nowhere close. The bees seem quite agitated by the fire and immediately swarm around it quite heavily, trying to work out what it is. So wherever you've landed the fireball, the bees are swarming that area.
Well, we're going to need to get a little bit closer, but at least it's distracting the ones close to the hive, it seems. We'll start moving forwards again.
So you're now 50 meters away from it. At this point, you can see that the hive is massive, like the size of like a two-story house. It's massive, and the black and white sort of corruption lines all the way through are incredibly intrinsic. The whole thing looks like a massive, like sort of almost like a giant heart that's like slightly pulsing in and out.
Is it dry?
It looks quite wet.
That's bad.
Okay.
That's
Looks like
real
it's going
bad.
to take more than one fireball. We may need to stand our ground for a few moments at least. I can't fire off anything too huge. There's a limit
We
to
do
my
have
skill and everything.
heat, so we could do the crocodile method and boil them alive.
This is true. If I could channel the heat along the ground, and maybe...
Crocodile method? I'm just like, what? Crocodile method?
Big crocodile. We boil. Boil.
Jesus Christ. Is there
Oh,
a lantern
well.
in this place?
A lantern.
In this, yeah, in the cart.
The cart that's 300 meters away now, probably.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh well. I finally had an idea as to how I could help. A bit late now though.
Well, I can start heating up the ground, and we could perhaps start slowly trying out that big structure. And maybe when it looks good to go, I'll fire off a fireball. And we'll see how that goes.
I'm
He's
gonna.
going to start hopping up and down and go,
Fire round. Circle fire.
Well, from our position, I'm not sure. Well, I could try. I suppose if I strategically laid a few fireballs in a few directions around the thing, that would encase it.
Would burn down the forest though.
Very true, and that's what we're here to save.
yeah, but it can grow back. That's the good thing about forests. They do, shockingly, grow back very fast.
All right, fine. I'm gonna roll around in the dirt, and make sure I'm really covered in muck and dead leaves and whatnot. And then I'm going to, I don't know, go look for kindling, just in case.
Are you going to leave the immediate group?
No, I'm gonna be. It's like anything that's close, within, I don't know, 2 meters.
Okay. So you start gathering small pieces of firewood. What do you want to do with them?
Currently I'm just gathering them up, but at some point I'd like to just sort of chuck them at like underneath the hive. I don't know how close we are to the being directly underneath it.
I think if you're
Let's
continuing
jump as
forward, you're
close as
maybe
you
about
can.
20 meters away from it. The sound of buzzing is almost deafening now.
I'm not surprised. So I'd be just like trying to chuck it all into sort of like under the hive, as much flammable stuff as I can find, and then maybe we can set fire to it with a fireball, or maybe some fiery bits of hive will drop onto it.
Okay.
While you're
Who
doing
knows?
that, Wraith will start heat. Like he'll sit down and put his hands on the floor and start channeling heat forwards towards the structure.
Can I help?
You got heat? Yeah.
Right, you start channeling heat. It seems to just really heat the ground around you. Unless it's channeled into an item, it just seems to sort of heat the closest part to you.
I can't project this forwards.
Heat, no. Heat's one of the ones you need to have a sort of contact with before you can channel it. But once you channel it, you can channel it very well. You have to be touching the object to be doing it.
Could you channel the heat to the pile of firewood?
Very long stick. That might work.
I don't think the staff's going to do it.
No, don't burn your stuff. Find a long stick, or hey, maybe that rope that I apparently had. Is there more of it?
Is there how long are the sticks I've been finding?
The sticks you're finding have range between like about 20 centimeters and a meter. Probably not very long.
Okay.
So the hive's currently about 20 meters away from you.
Could you channel heat onto a stick until it catches fire and then chuck it at the pile of firewood under the hive?
Well, yes. If we put heat on the stuff that, if we've got some more stuff to throw, I can apply heat to that first and then throw it.
Ah, I have
Dry
a
it out a
crossbow. What if you heat the bolt until it's smouldering?
Mm-hmm.
We'd have to be lucky that it would catch, but if we throw as much flammable stuff into a smallish pile under the hive, that could be it.
Yep. Sounds like a good idea. Okay, so
And
I'll
then
let...
strategic firebolts around it and just kind of build up an area and start overpowering. And the smoke will calm the bees down.
So Wraith will take the crossbow bolt and apply heat to the tip of it.
Okay. Let's just do a roll. Let's see how this goes.
Straight roll?
Yep.
Who's rolling?
Roll intelligence.
21.
21. Yep. You heat the thing. The end of it begins just sparks and catches fire. The bolt itself looks a lot more red hot than you realised.
Quickly fire it, I guess.
Yeah, passing it to Victor. Well,
Yeah, slot it into the thing. I'll have already drawn it back because that's how crossbows work.
Roll.
Probably rolling ranged, aren't I?
Yep. The crossbow immediately catches fire.
Fuck.
Just throw it, just throw it.
It's on fire, but I'm going to press the trigger anyway.
Okay, roll again.
I can deal with the fire in a minute. Oh, that's it not. Uh-oh.
Yes,
Okay.
you pull the trigger, the flaming bolt shunks through the air, lands in the hive.
In the hive? I thought I was aiming for the firewood.
Oh, you're on the firewood,
well.
sorry. Shunks into the firewood, which begins to start burning.
Okay.
Yes, hello. What are you doing with the crossbow that's on fire in your hands?
Roll it in the mud.
What do we reckon, team? Can I put it out, or shall I just chuck it on top of the firewood?
I don't know. Do something about it. It's on fire.
Alright, I'm gonna like scoop as much muck and dirt and gravel and soil onto it,
Okay.
and then like jump on it belly first.
Well, that should do it.
You pull some leaves and whatever you can on top of it. The crossbow fire is quite large now, and when you jump on top of it, hang on.
I'll probably get a bit of a singe on me, but hopefully it'll put it
You
out.
catch
'cause I won't
fire.
be I catch fire? How do I catch fire? I'm
Because
covered in dirt.
I rolled a nat 20. You catch fire.
Oh, okay, alright, fair enough.
Oh,
For
what have you done?
fuck's sake.
So Victor's now on fire. Like his clothes are catching on fire. The mud is somehow flammable. Who knew?
Maybe it's peat? Mud? Maybe? I don't know. Is that how that works?
A bottle of water at some point.
Is there a puddle
Preferably
anywhere?
like a giant-sized hip flask or something.
I mean, you can open a hip flask if you want. The contents might be interesting, but you can try.
Please
I was
don't
looking to see
until.
if I had water on me, you know?
Is there a puddle nearby,
have I-
or a pond, or any water
Yeah.
source on the ground?
Not that you've seen, but you can just, I guess, run in a direction and hope you find one. If that's what you really
Yeah, that
want.
sounds like how I die.
The hive
I'm
is
just-
damp.
I'm just gonna
Hive is
stop.
damp, it's
Yeah,
true.
it's also full of corrupted darkspawn essences. Thank you very much. I'm just gonna stop, drop, and roll.
Okay. Do a roll. Just plain roll.
Plain roll.
Good lord.
Is the crossbow still on fire, or did I put it out
That's
by?
still on. The crossbow is still on fire.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I wanted to heap so much dirt onto that bad boy.
70. You managed to somehow extinguish your fire. The crossbow is still on fire. You are badly singed all over.
I'm not surprised.
Wraith grabs him by the collar and tries to pull him up to his feet. Are you okay? Are you okay, Victor?
I'm gonna point at my crossbow and say, "Cold."
At
I'm
least at
gonna
this
start
stage, he's
heaping
smouldering quite a
firewood.
lot, and that's deterring more bees.
That's
I'm piling
one way of looking
firewood
at
on
it.
that thing. We're gonna set this hive on fire by building fires.
Okay.
So
If it
you're
helps
adding
spread the fire. Yeah, I'm adding to it.
I need that.
Wraith
Well, we
looks
need to kill the
sympathetic,
bees more.
shrugging. He's like, I'd put cold on it, but she's adding to it. We should probably step away. It's becoming a little bit too hot around here. Looking at the hive itself, is the fire underneath it starting to do
The
anything?
fire's beginning to catch underneath it. The bees are getting more and more agitated about it and start beginning to move towards the burning part to try and work out what it is.
And point in the sort of general direction of the woods and say, "Fireball."
Try and do it somewhere close to the other fires so they start to join up and create a bigger fire, which will then hopefully wipe out the hive.
So aiming for like the furthest part of the structure away from us.
Okay.
I'll fire off a fireball.
Alright, roll. Yep, you fire another. You catch a pile of what looks like of moss and more things. You start a third fire.
How close are the bees to us?
There are more bees that were further back have started retreating towards the hive, trying to work out what this fire is, and they're now
Okay.
spinning. All of them are sort of circling the hive, very angry.
Hmm. Alright, I suggest we crawl away. You're muted. Bud, you're muted.
Crud. Yeah, probably start retreating and fire off a few more fireballs just to kind of make sure this thing starts to burn.
And keep low to the ground.
Mm.
For two reasons. One, smoke. And two, the bees are less likely to bump into us if we're right next to the ground. They may still find us and sting us, but they're less likely to casually bump into us.
Okay.
Which is good.
Wraith will drop down into like a squat walk kind of position and
I'm tempted to sort of like grab you by like... Are you wearing a cloak of some kind?
like a robe, black robes.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab you by the neck of the robes. You might have to grab the other side so I don't choke you out, and you can just pew, 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 fireballs as I drag you backwards, like a little turret.
I see.
Why not?
All right.
Just try and stay on his feet as he's dragged backwards and yeah, fire off.
All right. Roll to basically turret.
I'm going to stand behind you.
In front of us, you mean?
Natural one.
like behind. Yeah.
Not so good.
Oh, fuck it.
Luckily, you're in front of me, so
The,
I'm
you-
directly between you two. Luckily for you, Rowan.
You shoot another fireball. Something catches fire.
Oh,
Something.
Something in the dirt that seems to have caused Victor to catch fire earlier catches fire. Fire begins
dirt
to
is on
start
fire.
shooting through the ground all around you, like a bushfire, but a lot faster. The ground is now blazing.
Run.
Yeah, staggering.
No.
Oh, I don't know what I've done, but get out of here. Let me quickly back to the cart.
Can I start hopping from branch to branch?
Yes.
Cool.
At this
Ninja
point,
time.
several trees have caught fire.
Yeah.
Leg it
Done it,
towards
guys.
the cart. Shouting after Juniper. Wraith is like, get ready to turn into a horse.
That horrible, horrible horse.
I'm gonna try
I've
and
got-
turn into a horse when we get there. Yep.
Can I see anything of the hive from where I'm?
You look back and you see literally bees on fire buzzing around the entire. It's a blazing inferno behind you.
That'll probably do it.
Yep.
I'll be honest, I don't know much about Dragon Age, and I don't know much about Darkspawn. But what I do know is that bees on fire don't live for very long.
That is somewhat true. Yes.
And the hive on fire will probably not be great either. Typically, what bees do when there's smoke is they will all return to the hive and try and eat as much honey as they can, in case they have to fly off and make a new hive. But if the fire is all around them, they're not going to be able to escape from the heat, and so they probably just die. In theory, they can smell the smoke coming, as it were, so before the wildfire is actually upon them, they can escape it. But this will have been too sudden for them, because they need a bit of a warm-up. At least half an hour, maybe an
A
hour.
warm up. Yeah. Funny.
Hey!
Cool.
All
Have
right.
we reached the cart?
Okay.
Running.
So you run back to the cart. The forest behind you is ablaze. Totally on fire, more and more of literally meters are catching fire by the second, it's just shooting outwards.
Is the cart still cold?
Yes.
Great. Cat horse time.
Roll for cat
Diminish.
horse time.
Roll for cat horse. Oh my
And the sound of Matt
Right.
Berry going, roll for cat horse time.
Come on. 5.
Juniper stands there and wills herself. Nothing happens.
Okay, I'll keep trying.
The cart behind her. Quickly, Juniper. Quickly, horse time. What's going on?
It's time for horse!
Staring at the fire going, nothing's happening.
Juniper imagines the raw power of cat horse and tries again.
Okay. Roll.
Got no other plan. 15.
Yep. You turn into a cat horse.
Aha!
You slowly shackle up Juniper and begin to start heading off. You get about 2 meters away before the man in the robes appears at the front of the cart going, "Stop! You can't leave it like this. You've set my forest on fire."
Keep going.
It'll regrow!
Not
Have you
today,
ever
Sir
heard-
Scurry.
Have you ever heard of a
Yep.
cold... What's it called? A cold
You-
burn?
You charge through him. You hear the sound of breaking bones as you run over him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He didn't even jump.
You fool!
So, as you look back behind you and see the crumpled, bleeding remains of this man desperately holding a hand up like, "No!" as the forest is catching fire around him. You continue on the way.
Hey, we stopped the dark spot.
As you continue along, you see more and more of the forest behind you catching fire. And you keep sort of geeing the horses as you go along. As you basically get to the end of the horse, you see another very pathetic barricade. And as you just burst straight through it, the two men go, "What's that? You don't see anything like that? Oh, fuck me, it's on fire!" So you're now free of the the forest, which you turn round and watch is now a blazing inferno where there once was a forest.
Wraith is sweating profusely and pulls off the beekeeping outfit. Oh, God, what have we done? What have I become? Traveling with you people.
Gonna get a nudge on the side of the head from a very sad cat horse.
Is that what it sounded like?
There's a horrible combination of a wicker kind of noise with the little noise that cats do.
You keep travelling for about another hour or so, and you get to come to a village. As you arrive in this village, you see everyone seems to be... There's a mass gathering in town as people are trying to get together to go and fight the fire in the forest.
I'm tempted to say don't even bother.
Yeah, let it regrow. Like, it will regrow in a few months. It'll start coming back. I'm guessing the other bees kind of managed to fuck off in time. At least one hive, so we definitely haven't stopped the bees existing. I guess the non-corrupted ones.
The bees won't survive. Bees can't live on their own. They will just die.
I mean, like, the ones really far away.
Yeah, they'll die. Yeah. Trust me on this. A bee cannot live on its own for long. It will just die.
I thought one of the hives would... Oh, well, I'm sure there's more giant bees somewhere.
The whole forest is on fire as well. So.
I'm sure there's more giant bees somewhere.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe in a different forest, not corrupted by darkspawn.
Yeah, I mean, this is one way of dealing with the darkspawn.
Just burn it all down, yeah.
We didn't mean to make the fire this big enough.
We didn't start the fire. Oh wait, yes we did.
It was always burning since the world's been turning.
As far as I'm aware, not our fault.
We didn't stop the darkspawn.
We didn't stop them either.
Oh.
Actually, maybe we did.
We might have. Like, I think that's probably the best a bard, a cat, and a mage could have done against darkspawn corrupted hundreds of giant bees.
Maybe.
What else could we
I'm
have
very
done?
much looking forward to explaining this to Riff next week.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, isn't it?
We done a murder.
We wiped out a small ecosystem.
Ecological terrorism is what we did.
Yeah.
Ecological terrorism.
I feel bad for the guy that we trampled. Who knows? He seemed like he wasn't necessarily a bad guy.
But no, he's dead now.
I don't know why he stood in
Mangled
front of a
corpse.
panicking cat horse running away from a forest fire and standing in front of it at full pelt would do, but...
Alright, so you arrive in the small village. Everyone is panically moving as fast as they can to take carts laden with like buckets of water away off towards the burning forest in the distance. You just gonna sort of quietly like get in, change back, and go to the end.
Does it seem like rain's coming soon?
The sky is quite clear.
Do we have a weatherstone still?
You do have a weatherstone still, that's
Wraith
true.
does have that.
So
Yeah, okay. So yeah, feeling very guilty up at the front of the cart. Wraith has been, as we've ridden into town, he's been sat with his hood up, sort of hunched, trying to keep... He doesn't want to see anybody, any of the villagers, that he doesn't want to catch eyes with anybody, but at the same time, he's feeling the weatherstone in his pocket and getting that familiar kind of, here's a little bit of comfort, but at the same time thinks, and looks around at the weather. Has it turned noticeably?
it's getting
darker?
gloomier as the day is going on, but it's not raining yet. It's just getting gloomy.
He considers the situation and how guilty he feels about the man that they've killed and the fact that they've set this forest on fire, and really kind of tries to feel upset more and like clutch the stone. Does that have any effect?
It grows dark, but it doesn't rain. It just gets incredibly gloomy. It's a very sort of
Start crying.
yeah. very
Stubbing your toe a little bit and trying to squeeze out some tears.
I can help you with that. Just stamp on your foot. Oh, dear.
It says Victor next to you in his smouldering clothes, where it's got like patches that are completely missing over his body.
Wraith,
Lost an eyebrow or two.
Wraith wails out. Oh!
That sounded the least sincere wail I've ever heard in my entire life.
But the most dramatic.
It was.
Oh my god.
He's trying to pull this feeling from deep within him. He's not an emotional person, and it's to try and cry. And
Cry on command is not an easy thing.
Like maybe this will work as an experiment. It's a lot to ask of himself. Can I cry? Or do you want me to roll to see if I can bring that feeling forth?
It's fine. It's fine. We'll have. We will see if you're able to cry by next week. Because although it has been a bit short today, it has been a return for the first time in a while. So apologies, it's been a bit short, but I did kind of expect you to exploring the bees a little bit longer when I wrote up this episode. So apologies, it's a bit short. But
I think the logic was, oh look, Darkspawn corruption.
Burn it with fire.
Burn it.
Burn it with fire. Here are some massive bees. They are now all on fire. Wiping out a forest ecosystem of rabbit-sized bees.
Yeah, sorry bees, but not sorry.
Sorry bees, but sorry. Oh, okay. Well,
and I'd do it again.
Yeah.
Go. So as I said, apologies a bit short this week, but that will do us. Does anyone have any other final thoughts before we wind up?
That was a great laugh. That was action-packed. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Really goddamn funny. I do feel slightly bad for you, Cortez.
I feel slightly bad for the guy we murdered.
Yes. Yes.
Again, who the fuck stands in front of a charging carriage? Shouting.
Nut job.
Someone that doesn't think their life is worth as much as it would be to save the forest.
I mean, we did technically save the forest, but it'll just take a decade for it to be back. Like, there will be seeds. Forests are really good at regrowing after fires. They're brilliant at it. As long as people leave it the fuck alone for roughly a decade.
As long as we don't come back. Might be alright.
As long as we don't come back, it's probably good.
When are we gonna get marked? Where are you going?
We may never know.
Eventually it will all make
lost track.
sense.
Oh my god.
Eventually it will all make sense. Alright. Well, then we will wind up there. Thank you everyone for watching along. Just to quickly do our next streams and then we'll do an outro. So our next streams will be there's nothing on Monday because myself, Eden, and a couple of other folk will be doing a one-shot with AJ, which will be released soon. It's the Alien RPG, so that'll be interesting to see how that goes. I think it's the first time AJ's DM'd both me and Belray, so oh dear. Tuesday will be Baratron with myself and Mr. Tom just there, and also Zeph and Meow. After that, I'll be doing some indie horror. Wednesday is me and Belray playing Neo 2, I believe, because he wants to play that on Wednesday. Then Thursday more indie horror. Friday should be Raft, and I think we're doing Phasmo this week because a new Phasmo patch has come out. Then next Saturday is free, and the next Sunday we're back here, and we'll find the answer to what happened after the forest with the giant bees burnt down. So yeah, that's our streams. Because October's coming up, we'll be doing a lot more Halloween one-shots coming up. They'll be randomly live on the channel throughout October. It's been the Halloween series, which I think everyone here has been a part of our Halloween group. So that's that. We'll also be starting our weekly RPG series at some point. I think I've alluded to it before, but it will be hopefully started between now and November on Wednesdays. I'm looking forward to that one. That'll be a lot of fun. So yes, now we just need to try and find someone very quickly to raid into. Would you rather go to someone playing what looks like some sort of weird Doom clone? Actually, is Stu just started or is he finishing? He's probably... I will go into Stu. He's doing the Monkey Island, the new Monkey Island game, I think. So we're rolling a Stu, because he is an awesome Scottish streamer who does a lot of like puzzle games and stuff, and he is more than worth your time to follow and watch. So we're raiding Mr. Stu. I wish you all the best of a fantastic weekend, and we shall see you all hopefully on Tuesday for Better Trauma. So until then, folks, you all take care. Enjoy Mr. Stu. We'll catch you later. Good night.
Bye.
See ya.
We should probably bring back the waving again. Wave, everyone.